oh my, just internal screaming, extremely loud internal screaming. Just like, why? And you know what? This might be a hot take. This might be controversial. I blame everybody. I blame a lot of people. I blame myself. I 100% believe that Disney, MCU, they deserve the most blame. This blame can be spread around. Again, Disney and the MCU deserve 85% of the blame. I do think that this blame can be shared amongst a lot of different things and a lot of different people. People might not like me saying that, but I believe it to be true. If you know me, if you've seen other videos that I've done about Blade on my channel, I am truly rooting for this movie. I want to see Mahershala Ali get his chance to play Blade. I truly do. That's a dream of mine. But it's just like, we never even got to take 2 steps forward with this movie. It's like every time we took 2 steps forward, we ended up taking 2 steps back. And then we took another 2 steps back. And then we took 5 steps back. Then we took 2 steps, 6 steps, 7 steps, 8 steps, 9 steps, 10 steps, 20 steps. We just keep taking steps back. I know this movie was marred by a lot of different stuff. We had the corona that happened, the writer's strike, the actor's strike. There was just so much that happened. Those can only get a certain percentage of the blame. Disney and Marvel, the MCU, they get most of the blame. This is a role that Mahershala wanted. This is a role that he championed for. And after getting his awards, he earned it. He earned this role, but it's just like, I think unfortunately, even though it hasn't been announced, a lot of people have been saying this, I think that he is going to walk away from this because it's at this point, he's going to be almost 60 by the time he gets to play Blade, and he's only going to get maybe what, like 5 years, 10 years to play Blade, and then they're going to have to recast again. And it's just, honestly, to me, it's heartbreaking because, again, I want to see this movie so bad. I want to see him in this movie so bad. Like, this looks like Blade to me. The only reward that we would get from this is if they bring him back as Cottonmouth. If they bring him back as Cottonmouth in the MCU and he gets that opportunity, that's the only reward we get. But otherwise, losing Mahershala Ali as Blade and these movies continue to be delayed is an absolute loss. I'm not going to say it's a fumble yet. I know a lot of people are saying it's a fumble. I'm going to say it's a loss, not a fumble just yet. I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, it's so simple. You just have Mahershala Ali's Blade going up against vampires and you just make it a kick-butt action-packed style movie, a John Wick style movie. And yes, that would be awesome. That would be great. But I don't think it's actually that simple. This is a fair and good point that is being made. The fact that it should just be something really simple. It doesn't have to be this game-changing, this truly impacting, this Black Panther style thing to a degree. Another part of me also thinks that it does have to be. One of the main reasons why is because Black Panther was a risk. And I can see why Mahershala feels like this needs to be a Black Panther style movie. Black Panther was a risk. Blade as a reboot is very much a risk. And you see a lot of reasons why this is a risk, just from the responses that people have had. This is a common theme, a common statement amongst comic book and movie enthusiasts in general, that Wesley Snipes is Blade and there will never be another. I can only imagine the pressure for this. It has to be weight-crushing pressure. Ali is under a lot of pressure because he championed for this role. This is his movie. And I think nobody stands to lose more than him because he's taking over the mantle for somebody else. He's taking over the mantle for somebody who has loved and championed themselves. Originally, it seemed like Wesley was all for this movie, at least on one surface level. And then I don't know what happened. It's like there was just a change. I think it might have been like for a month, Wesley was okay with this movie. And then he just started doing stuff like this. Every time there was an issue with this movie, Wesley would pop out and he would say something. I get it. I understand. Wesley made Blade. Wesley saved Marvel. Without Wesley, there would be no Marvel Cinematic Universe. Without Wesley, comic book movies may not be as big as they are. I'm not going to say he was the main one, but I think he was a factor. There's a lot of early actors, like 90s actors, who played a role in comic book movies becoming what they are. And Wesley is one of those pillars. There's no denying that. But just seeing the reaction to Wesley, a lot of people hyped it up. I never liked it. Me personally, I didn't like it. I understand this is Wesley. He feels like this is his role. He feels like he deserved to ride off into the sunset with this movie. Wesley absolutely deserves his glory day in the hot sun as Blade. He absolutely deserves his moment. I don't think that Deadpool and Wolverine was his moment, but he deserves his moment. Wesley is one of those pillars in the comic book movie genre. He is one of those staples. The first Blade was amazing. One of my all-time favorite movies. The opening scene alone, it sets a standard. It sets a bar very, very high. A bar that now the MCU has to live up to. And with Wesley continuously chiming in, it continues to build that idea that Wesley is the only Blade. Wesley should be the only Blade. There should never be another Blade. We don't know what happened behind the scenes. We don't know why Wesley feels the way that he does. He feels like this is his character. He may feel like somebody did him wrong at some point, and that's why he feels so strongly and he's so adamant about it. But this should not be to the detriment of Mahershala Ali or anybody else who plays Blade. It's unfair. It is unfair. Someone else should get a chance to wear the mantle and to try to do that. That is a part of legacy. This is a sidebar, but it also deals with legacy. I was originally someone who was very much so, don't recast T'Challa. Chadwick Boseman is T'Challa. He is a Black Panther. Just let that character be what it is. At the same time, you see how not having T'Challa, not having Black Panther in the MCU is a detriment to it. There should be another Black Panther. There should be another T'Challa. Being able to pass that mantle would be a part of Chadwick's legacy. He would be giving an opportunity to someone else. I understand family feels a certain way, a lot of fans feel a certain way, but that legacy should be able to be passed, and that would uplift Chadwick's legacy in general. I think a lot of people have made that point. You've seen the recast of T'Challa people say this, and they're making a great point. And I see it now with the way in which people are reacting to Blade and to the transition between Wesley and Mahershala. Speaking of recasting T'Challa, Aldis Hodge. I think he's perfect. He fits Chadwick's legacy perfectly. Another guy from South Carolina. And watching the trailer for his new series, Cross. We don't know if the show is good or bad just yet, but the trailer alone is potential. And you know what this really, really, truly reminds me of? This movie that Chadwick did. I believe it was right after Civil War and right before he was getting ready to star in Black Panther. Or it might have been even before Civil War. Seeing Aldis Hodge in Cross reminds me of seeing Chadwick in Message from the King. A great movie. I love this movie. And I thought we saw the potential in Chadwick in there as far as like action, being tactical, and everything that he did. This was kind of like his test run for T'Challa. Cross could be Aldis's test run for T'Challa as well, for Black Panther. But I think Aldis would be great anyways. He would be great. To me, he looks like Black Panther to me, T'Challa. So I think he'd be a great fit. He would be a great recast. And I think it's necessary. I would love to see more of Wesley Snipes' Blade. Secret War, Avengers Doomsday, put him there. I would have loved to see Wesley Snipes come back as either a Whistler type character or even playing Dracula in the new Blade movie. I thought that would have been great. Wesley probably didn't want to play the villain at all, so that probably would have never happened. At a certain point, you kind of saw Wesley didn't want to be that side character. He wanted to be the main character. He still wants to be Blade because he believes Blade is his. And I think we as fans, we hype him up to that. And there's nothing wrong with it. This is part of Wesley's legacy. This is part of this is going to be a part of Wesley as a whole. Blade is probably going to be the greatest and the most famous character that Wesley has played. And that's not to take away from any of Wesley's other roles, as far as Sydney and White Man Can't Jump, Nino Brown, his character in Jungle Fever. Wesley has played numerous great characters, but I think Blade will always be kind of like, when you look at the pantheon of Wesley characters, I think Blade will be at the top. I feel like this was like another random shot at Mahershala and Blade and what they were trying to do with this new Blade. I don't know if it truly was. I don't know if this was a shot for somebody else, but it felt like a shot to Mahershala and to the MCU's Blade. One of the reasons why I think Disney feels like they need to deliver such a great product with Blade is because of the response from the fans. Disney is getting truly bullied, and you can see it with a lot of the decisions that they're making, the changes that they're making, the movies that they're pushing forward, the movies that they're pulling back, the actors that they're pushing forward, the actors that they're pulling back. I'm not going to say that there's an agenda. I know some people have said there's an agenda against Black, female, homosexual characters. I'm not going to say that just yet. It's there, it's building up, but I'm not going to say it's fully there yet. But again, you can tell that they are pushing certain things forward and they're pulling certain things back. That impacts what they're trying to do. They feel like this movie has to deliver. Also, Marvel's track record for the last few years hasn't been great for the fandom as a whole, so they got to deliver. That is part of the reason why I absolutely believe the rumor, just rumor, it's alleged right now, that Ali feels like this should be a Black Panther level movie. There's a lot of pressure on him that's resting on his shoulders. We put pressure on him. By continuing to lift Wesley Snipes up, we put more pressure on Ali to deliver in this film. Not saying that we shouldn't lift up Wesley, but we see the impact that it has. While Marvel, Disney, and the MCU deserve most of the blame for this, I blame everybody at this point. I truly do. I'm putting the blame on everybody. Myself, the fandom, everybody is getting blamed for this. This movie should have been made, but I think there's too much going on. And it's very unfortunate because I think this could have been a great movie. Now there's even rumors that they're going to fast track a Midnight Suns movie. So it does make a little bit more sense because you can introduce Blade in a Midnight Sun movie and then you take a little bit of the pressure off whoever plays Blade at that point. I would have loved to see Mahershala Ali's Blade movie. I don't know if we're even going to get it at this point. I don't think we're going to get it at this point. I want to see it, but I don't think it's going to happen. We were promised something 5 years ago. 6 years ago going on, it feels like. We were promised something and we let Nas down. If that makes any sense. It doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense right now. I think that another thing that needs to happen, but actually I'm afraid for it, is Captain America Brave New World has to deliver. It looks good. It looks really good, but I think it's going to be tough. I think that I said that there wasn't an agenda. I said there wasn't an agenda yet. But I think we're going to start to see stuff. Are we going to see Black-led MCU films take a back burner? Get less. Maybe they'll bring Ali back as Cottonmouth. Like I said early in the video, maybe that's the reward that we get out of this, is they'll bring Ali back as Cottonmouth, because one of the greatest Netflix Marvel characters ever. There's no denying it. Ali was amazing as Cottonmouth. I really wish we could have seen Ali's Cottonmouth interact with Daredevil and with Kingpin. Can you imagine the dynamic between those three? Or even Kingpin and Cottonmouth vying for space in New York City, vying for criminal real estate in New York City. Mahershala Ali's Cottonmouth going against Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin. Can you picture it? Can you see it? Oh man, it would have been great. What are we gonna do? We're here now. This is where we're at. Mahershala, I am truly hoping and praying that you get your opportunity. You're gonna get opportunities. I hope you get your opportunity to play something in the MCU, to play the superhero that you want to play. I hope you get it. Maybe it'll be in DC. I still want to see you as Blade. I hope that they figure something out with that, but it's looking tough right now. And I blame everybody. I blame everybody. I blame anybody at this point. I'm just blaming. I'm just going to blame. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. If you didn't like this video, feel free to check out my channel. See if there's any other videos that you like on my channel. If you like one of those videos, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. At the end of the day, your time is most appreciated. I truly appreciate you giving me your time, taking time out of your day to just check something out of mine. I really do. I just appreciate that. I'm thankful. Hope you continue to be good. Hope you continue to be blessed.